The Rightmove House Price Index suggests 2018 will continue to see house prices rise, although a two-tier market is emerging. The forecast indicates price growth in the lower and middle sectors of the market is set to continue in 2018, with Rightmove forecasting an average growth of 3% for typical first-time buyer homes and 2% for second step-up properties. But at the top of the ladder, properties, for example, 4 or 5 bedroom luxury detached in more affluent areas such as London and the commuter belt, are predicted to fall in the next 12 months by an average of 2%. If correct, this forecast would see house prices grow by 1% on average in 2018, which, although is still in positive territory, will be the slowest rate of growth we've seen since 2011. Why two tiers? On the one hand lies the ongoing shortage of suitable properties for sale in some locations where there is strong demand, which will result in upward price pressure in new seller asking prices in those areas. The crucial factors at play as we go into 2018 are the overall housing supply remains historically tight, as recently reported by the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors, together with the slow expansion of house building. This has led to estate agents seeing reduced amounts of properties for sale in many parts of the country, especially in the north, where demand continues to exceed supply. All of this underpinned by historically cheap mortgages and rates, which are still at record low despite the recent interest rate rise. On the other hand, however, there are equal factors which are likely to keep another property price boom in check. Despite interest rates remaining low, overall affordability is continually being stretched due to subdued wage growth, whilst discretionary high-end movers are now significantly reduced in numbers, particularly in London and the southeast. 2018 will continue similar to 2017 trends by being a real mixed bag of different price pressures, both up and down, but the net result is that Rightmove forecast a year of a slow pace of price rises. The mass market remains robust, with around 85% of transactions involving first-time buyers and second step-up properties. Demand is driven by many factors, but two are key, and this will override the backdrop of uncertainty. Firstly, the desire to get onto the ladder, which is financially influenced by the bank of mum and dad, the rising cost of renting, and the limited time between the effectively zero rating of first-time buyer stamp duty and price increases in response. Secondly, there is a need for space and schooling for growing families, which is hard to postpone. Demand for the right property in these sectors will nudge up prices, with the more buoyant northern half of the country seeing more of the price rise hotspots. In contrast, many sellers in the upper end of the market will struggle unless the price is more aggressively tempted for the wealthier but more hesitant buyers. In the rental market, Arla Property Mark report that rents are likely to rise and continue into the new year due to new legislation as costs are being passed through landlords and onto tenants, which will push up rents. In terms of supply of rented properties, agents expect a fall in numbers as many landlords are exiting the private rented sector and selling up again because of new legislation and tax reasons. It remains to be seen whether the scrapping of stamp duty for first-time buyers up to 300,000 announced in the budget will provide a lift in the market. In Wales, that figure for first-time buyers changes to 180,000 on the 1st of April 2018 when the new land transaction tax comes into effect.